Are we though?
It says we're going live. It says we're here.
Okay.
That made me nervous for a second. Don't be lying about our excellent connection, you two. I don't actually ever know if I'm here until my existence is validated by others. Because we've had too many tech glitches in our time here on YouTube for me to just trust that everything works.
Yeah.
But, oh yay, Kim validated us. Completely. We are seen and heard. And I think my heart grew in 2 sizes. So
1 second.
I know you're doing your thing, and
Okay.
I was trying. I don't know how to fill time. No, not trying to rush you. I'm trying to fill time.
Just do what you do.
Nope, it doesn't work if you're not like in it with me. I don't know why it doesn't, but it doesn't. Hello.
Hello.
Kayla Lord.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help Kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 6 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, you got a few minutes. If you're here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by about 6 minutes. This was almost an idle chit chat episode because if my second choice topic didn't work, I had nothing left in the tank. I was like, this is it. This is it. I'm going to say hi to folks. Hi, Kim. Hi, Bay Seats. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Sassy Girl. Yeah, I couldn't remember, Tayshu, I couldn't remember 2 sizes, 3 sizes. I was trying to channel the Grinch, and then I doubted myself in the middle, and I was like, 1 size isn't enough. It has to overgrow. And so I just went with a number. I panicked. I mean, I calmly panicked. We were not running around like SpongeBob and Patrick, you know.
Yeah, no.
While the Krusty Krab is on fire, panic. We were not doing that. Yeah, Tayshu, the moment I said 2, I knew it was wrong, but I just had to commit. I had to commit. So, I'm just saying. This episode is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because the premise of it should be just fine.
But,
well, I'm scattered. More so than usual. I'm always scattered. Like, if you're new here, just I'm scattered. You had to whip out the actual good chair just to be comfortable.
yeah. My back is talking to me tonight.
Yeah,
and it ain't happy.
We've been working hard, and we still have more days of working hard.
Yeah.
You want to know why? You want to really know why it's rushed like this and we weren't prepping earlier? Because I don't know how calendars work, and I thought Labor Day was a week after the date of Labor Day.
So did I.
Because we're going to have, the Kinkery's having a Labor Day sale, thekinkery.com, but not if we don't have product to sell.
Yep. So we've been scrambling.
Yeah, and
I went to the sawmill over the weekend, and today we well, not actually today. Well, yeah, kind of today we milled what we had.
Yeah, because you had been working on other stuff before.
I was going through all the bits and bobs in the garage.
Yep. And typically when we know we're going to have a sale, we like everything that's going to be restocked, that can be restocked for that sale, to be there. No, we will still be restocking items after the sale starts.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's a crazy time. But, yeah, I'm looking at laid out paddles in the back behind the camera, behind the lights.
Yep.
And that
have been buttered.
Yeah, and I need to buff them, and then I have other stack off to my left over here. And I still need to be pouring diabolical tips.
That was all the stuff that she's talking about. That's the stuff that I told her. I said, we need to get this off the shelves in the tiny shop before we mill in the garage and bring that all back here. And by gosh, we did.
And then on this side to my right, behind that light, is all the stack of wood that has to be cut and
that'll get moved out to the shop in the morning.
Yep. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have.
But we really did. We have a fairly good system now when we mill the wood up.
Well, now I know what's happening, so I don't have to like try to get your attention. So we're both wearing noise canceling stuff on our head. JB does earbuds. I do over the ear because I hate I don't like things being in my ear, so I do over the ear, over the head.
Yeah,
Y'all
like
know what I
the
meant.
big on my head.
Right. So before we got into our rhythm and pattern and like knowing what our jobs were, every step I would need to know what to do next.
Yeah.
But JB is so used to working by himself that he just thinks the next step
Yeah.
and forgot that I can't read his mind. And so then there would be a lot of huffing and puffing at each other. Like it would start with me because I'd be like, oh, I just want to know. And he'd be like, oh, what do you mean I have to turn off my music, take out my earbud? These are really good earbuds. He really cannot hear what's in his ear.
That is true.
And it is a production.
Once they go in, the world ceases to exist.
And see that we need some kind of rule about earbud situation. You have to understand, if JB is wearing his noise canceling earbuds because he's got to work, he is not wearing his hearing aids. So he can't hear anyway. Problem is I don't know he's wearing his earbuds. And I'm trying to talk to him, and I used to get my feelings hurt. I was like, is he ignoring me? He doesn't ignore me. And then I'd look at his head, and there'd be little green earbuds sticking out. But he also gets annoyed because he's like, I just put these things in. Why didn't you ask me sooner? And I'm like, I need you to wave a flag, hold up a sign, do something. Let me know that you've put the noise-canceling earbuds in. Yeah, Tayshu, the answer to anything and everything in a relationship is just communication. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, it's a comedy of errors when we both have noise-canceling stuff on our heads. So,
yeah.
It's 7 o'clock.
Is it?
So we'll go ahead and get started.
Now?
Will you do a thing?
I do. Okay.
Nope, not that thing. Why are you trying to push buttons? You're pushing my buttons is what's happening. She said submissively.
And you know.
I was just trying to point out to everybody that I understand that did not come out submissively, so I sarcastically said she said submissively.
I know.
But apparently you took it personally. So.
Anywho, hello everyone.
We got there eventually. Okay. You can kind of tell by the title what the hell we're doing, but it was a journey to get to this topic or this episode situation, so we'll talk about that in a minute. If you enjoy this while you're watching it, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And then ring that bell so you get updates and new content.
Just do what Daddy says. Life is infinitely easier. But the daddies have to know what they want so that they can tell you. Because folks aren't mind readers. They also have to take out their earbuds so they can hear you. I will pay for that later, but
yeah, you will.
Right now,
yeah, you will.
Present me has no regrets. Future me might be really mad at me from right now, but future me, that's a problem for future me.
Yeah. Last night, at this point, was just a warm-up.
Oh, my God, yeah. He bent over, we're doing our bedtime routine, and I was shrieking and laughing.
Yeah, you were.
Because it hurt, and I didn't want to admit that it hurt, but also it's like, attention! I see why people act out if that's what they're going to get. I'm just saying. I'm starved for kinky attention, is all I'm saying. Anyway, that's not at all what we're talking about. No. You can do your part, and then I will continue doing my part. I'm scattered. I don't know. Okay, before we get into the episode, a couple of announcements. There are a few days left, as of the time of actually recording this and live streaming it, to enter our podcast anniversary giveaway. It ends at 11:59 p.m. Eastern on the last day of August, which I am convinced is August 31st. If somehow the last day of August is August 30th, that's fine. If it's August 32nd, it doesn't matter. Whatever the last day of August
you writing the calendars now?
Look, we can't trust me with a calendar, with time and dates. I don't know. I can look at a calendar 18 times But apparently I need that 19th time because I'll walk away going, I got it. I looked at the calendar. I know what days are. And I'll still get my dates wrong. So last day of August, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. There are 4 prizes we're giving away. They're kind of like in levels. Top prize is $50 to use at the Kinky. $50, it's technically like a discount, but $50 to use at our Etsy shop. The next one down is $25 for both of those places. Oh, everybody is going to get a 10th. Everybody who wins is going to get a 10th podcast anniversary enamel pin. So we're shipping those. And then the third prize is $10 at each. And then the fourth is just the pin. Yes, you can be located outside of the U.S. And enter. We will ship internationally. But just be of legal age in wherever you're located. Please and thank you. So yeah, that's technically still going on as of the time I'm sitting down and saying this. I would love to be able to announce it fully and officially, but by Friday, I think that's the 29th of August, but God, I don't know. Friday before Labor Day, we're supposed to have a Labor Day sale at the Kinky, thekinky.com. Why can I not officially announce it yet? I don't even have a coupon code planned yet, y'all. But there will be a sale. It is coming. We are frantically restocking. So
Friday is the 29th.
If you follow the Kinky on socials, if you are subscribed to the Kinky's newsletter, it will all go out that way. We will make a big deal out of it. So don't worry. But I just felt like I should slide that in there.
Slip that in there. Get it into the wire.
So those are my announcements. So let's get into this topic. Look, I don't want to be anybody's second choice, but sometimes somebody's got to be a second choice. And what we're doing for today's episode is second choice, because I came up with an idea and I was mapping out what points we could probably make. And I was interested in hearing JB's perspective. And I was like, oh, and then something hit me on Tuesday. And I was like, have we done this episode? Yes, we did in 2023. And I don't mind repeating a topic if we have something new to say. And I was like really I had planned it out in my head. I had talking points. I could have made notes right then. But I didn't have time to go listen to the episode from 2 years ago. So that is this new information? So that didn't work. And then I was, for half a minute, was really excited that I finally gained access to the Loving BDSM email account again. There was a server change, technical jargon, blah, blah, blah.
That was a journey for you.
And 3 weeks I could not get into that inbox. So I was like, oh, there's all these emails. I think we also lost a lot of emails in the server switchover. But I was like, I know people ask questions, so why don't we, since we're not doing Monday episodes right now, which are, for a while had been a Q&A episode, let's just make this a Q&A episode and go through our inbox and answer some questions. And that was my backup while I was like mapping out the topic I wanted and could not do. And then I could not get into any of my email on my Mac. And the only place I access the Loving BDSM email is on my Mac. I was like, the universe does not want me looking at email, clearly. So that is what we're doing. We've got a couple of questions. They're kind of like meaty. There's like stuff there. So I think this will be like hopefully helpful to the folks who sent in the questions, and hopefully interesting for us to talk about. I just heard Lola whine in the background, so she may not approve, but that's what we're doing. So I've got the questions here. I'll read them.
Okay.
We'll see what we think. I looked at them. I didn't have enough time to formulate thoughts on it. So we're raw dogging it is what we're doing. Okay, first question. I'm in an online DS relationship. It's also my first kinky relationship. I've only been owned for 3 months. Obviously, I'm learning and I'm being trained to be his fuck toy. He's a great dom, very knowledgeable, very caring, very smart, very patient, a great communicator and listener. I trust him, but the problem I'm having is how to totally submit to him. I'm very obedient, but I have needs and concerns which I communicate to him a lot. I'm very obedient, but I don't know how to go about changing my mindset to his fuck toy. I'm very devoted to him. I do a lot of researching, but I have found no information on the process of full submission. I'm struggling right now, and I don't want to come off as needy to my dom. Any tips would be much appreciated. You go first, because we know I got thoughts.
I'm not even sure about that one, but yeah, that's...
No.
I mean, that... You know, there's got to be some definite communication going on, and it's got to be understanding and work with that.
Well, and that's the thing. I would love to know the dom's perspective, because is this a submissive who thinks they're failing and their dom is like, you're doing great, you're doing fine.
Right.
We're 3 months into this.
Exactly.
That's where I would, is the uncertainty and the lack of confidence from within, or is it, the dom not building them up and, having expectations that are too high. But... Okay, you want me to go is what you're saying.
I do.
Okay.
Run with it.
So, a few things. You're only 3 months in. So you're new. You are a baby in the relationship or in DS, doesn't matter. 3 months is early. Okay. 3 months is still innocent on some things. So whatever your end goal in mind is for what kind of submissive you want to be, you're still learning. You can get there. But you can be obedient and still in the moment, if it fits you and it's what you genuinely want and not that you want it because your dom wants it, be the air quote fuck toy, right? Total submission is... Are there people out there who can work it into everything 24/7? Sure. But in general, most of us, total, air quote that, total submission, that's a very subjective term. It sounds like literally like you do whatever, don't really have your own thoughts, don't really have your own opinions. In that moment, you are whatever your dom wants you to be, and they're playing, right? That's cool for a scene. That's cool for a few moments, but the vast majority of people do not live like that, can't live like that, don't want to live like that. So that's first. Second, being obedient, being their fuck toy in the moment, whatever that moment looks like, never means you don't have needs, never means you don't communicate them. You always communicate your needs, because this is not just the dom getting what they want. You are supposed to get what you want out of this as well. Now, it is entirely possible that the fuck toy thing is not your thing, that total submission is not actually your thing. There's that. Also, we're 3 months in. You're still new.
Right.
That could be part of it. It's online only, which is a very real thing. I won't invalidate people's, only online experience. But it is a different thing than in person. Yeah. And some mindsets can be harder to shift for some people because it's online. I actually do a really good job of shifting my mindset and being in the moment online, because now it's like fiction. And I don't have to say anything out loud. I don't have to be awkward. I can type it all, right? But other people don't. So there are a lot of reasons why maybe it's not working. But it's never because you're too needy. There's no such fucking thing, okay? The dom who can't handle your needs is just not the right dom for you. Right. And I say that if they're giving you that impression, if they're making you feel too needy. However, if it is what often happens to subs, especially when they're new, where you have an image in your mind of what you think submission is, which is no opinions, no wants, no needs, the dom just knows, they do what they want. If that is the picture you have for yourself and you're struggling with it, I'm so grateful you are, because again, there are a few exceptions, but in general, no, that submission is, yes, I'll do what you say. Yes, you can do what you want with me within our negotiated bounds, but I need to still receive something out of this as well. Pleasure, fulfillment, it feels good, like whatever. And if you're not getting that out of the type of dynamic this dom wants from you, you have not done submission wrong. Like, I'm obedient, but I got thoughts and opinions. And that's okay. I'm still submissive. We all have our like style and brand
Right.
and way of navigating both dominance and submission. There is no one, way of doing it, that one true way bullshit. The internet will have you thinking, and hell, sometimes your own community, you'll go to a munch and there'll be somebody who's like, well, real doms, or if you're a true sub. I hate that way of thinking, because that doesn't actually work in the real world, because it sets you up for some of what I'm hearing in your question of, I'm struggling because I can't be this thing, this idealized version now. And again, I wish I knew, is it your dom's idealized version? That's a problem. That's a big problem. That's not the right dom for you, probably. Or is it you got that thought in your head from somewhere else, and you're trying to be what you think you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be anything other than what y'all negotiate in your power exchange. Is that obedient? Okay. Is it in scene when y'all are like truly like having that moment between dom and sub, whether it's sexual or not, because it doesn't have to be sexual. Use of the term Lola agrees.
Yep.
Use of the term fuck toy, I'm automatically assuming it's sexual, but it doesn't even have to be. You can be that in those moments if you want to be and if it works for you. But that I'm now just repeating myself, and I got my blood pressure up. Because part of it is I don't know, are we dealing with the shitty dom who's like, oh, I want all the fun but none of the responsibility.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make you feel bad for having wants and needs.
Yeah.
No way of knowing. That is very common. That does happen a lot.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Right. Or is this a submissive who has got this, picture in their mind of what they think submission is, and they think they're failing because they're not meeting that version. Either that version is not a real version, or you're just not there yet. You're looking at the finish line of the type of submissive you want to be, and you haven't had time to grow into it. But please go ahead and knock out of your brain the idea that you don't get to have needs. You absolutely get to have needs. And sometimes those needs are, I need to slow this down. Sometimes those needs are, this thing you assigned to me, this thing you asked me to do, I can't do, I don't want to do. Lola agrees. You're not doing submission wrong when that happens. You are your own individual self, your own autonomous person who is supposed to both give and receive in this power exchange. That is where I think a lot of people get confused. People see that the dom gets what they want. They have, the sub does for them. The sub lets them do things. And they get this picture in their head that that's just how it works. It's like, no. The exchange part of that is, we call it power exchange. Exchange implies we're giving and receiving. It's a flow back and forth. So if you're not experiencing or feeling what you'd like to be feeling as a submissive, renegotiate, see if the relationship is even viable. It's not always that it's a bad dom.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just crossed wires of expectations. That's another thing. You want to, between the two of you, set expectations for where you are right now. 3 months in is very, very new. Where you'd like to be in the future, what you're working towards. But also those expectations need to be realistic, okay? Yeah. We all have lives outside of whatever kink thing we're doing. Some of us incorporate our power exchange into our outside lives. But even then, I don't use my submissive voice when I'm at the grocery store buying some milk. When I have to talk to my kid's doctor, I'm not baby girl, right? Now, if I got the vibe, sure. You know what I mean? Like, we are full people with all of the ups and downs and ebbs and flows, and I get to show this part of myself to this person. I have to show another side of myself to somebody else. And it all you have to find a way for it all to kind of coexist together in a way that, feels right to you, works with the life you have, works with your personality, works with your desires, And sometimes what a partner wants from us is not something we can give. So that's another thing to just think about, you know. Are they asking you to be a fuck toy and that's not actually your vibe? That's okay. It just might mean you're not aligned, that you're not compatible. It's also possible you could say to your partner, yeah, this fuck toy thing's not working for me, assuming that was a thing. And they go, oh, okay. There's so many other ways I can play. Let's try. You don't know until you have a conversation.
True. It
always comes back to have a conversation. always. Yeah. But you are never too needy.
No.
You are never too much, because you have questions, you have wants, you have needs. You're uncertain at times, and you know something's not quite comfortable. You get to have all of that. Full submission, that's a real subjective term.
Yeah.
I think you and your partner need to decide between you what that means to you. And then please remember and understand that in another relationship or to another person you might come across, they'll have a completely different definition of full submission. Like, I think the most common definition is Dom makes all decisions, sub doesn't do anything the Dom doesn't want them to do, and the Dom basically, like, whether it's in scene or it's all the time, the Dom is the final authority, and the sub basically doesn't have, you know, I don't want to say they don't have wants and needs, but in the moment they're probably not expressing them. I'm only down with that if there are moments outside of that moment you are expressing your wants and needs and they are being respected, right? Because let me say again, we all have to be whole ass adult people in the world, right?
Huh.
And I would like to have my Dom take charge of a lot of my adult responsibilities, but we don't live that life, right? So that's the other thing. Full submission, what does that even mean to you? Because it's immediately going to be a completely different definition for an online or a long distance relationship than it is for an in-person relationship. And then it's going to be dependent on what does your life look like? Like, what kind of job do you have? Is it crazy and your schedule changes all the time? Are you parenting kids? Are you caregiving adults? That's gonna have to be factored in. That's gonna like skew things. Like you're not gonna spend as much time in your submissive headspace as you'd like because you've got these other responsibilities, right? So yeah, the full submission thing, let's get clear between you and your partner on what the hell that means. And again, if your partner's never asked for that, and this is you having done your research and having read something or watched something, and somebody said full submission, and you latched onto that idea, even if they did define what they think it means, you don't have to take their definition and just apply it to yourself. You create your own definition of what full submission looks like. And sometimes it's this is not a good fit, the thing your Dom wants to do to create full submission, and sometimes you're just not quite ready, you're not quite there in that moment, and it's a process, and you just give yourself more time, and you go more slowly, and you try different things, and you keep communicating your needs. You are not too needy. I want to get a t-shirt that just says you are not too needy. Because it's true outside of kink. Relationships in general, but man, in Power Exchange, submissives feeling guilty because they got needs. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
And I get it. The tropes and the cliches and the stereotypes and the one true wayers and the bullshit of it all will lead you to think that. But no, your needs and wants that are compatible with your Doms should be just as fulfilled as theirs are. Point blank, period. Might not always happen at the same time or in the same way, and there will be an ebb and flow of who's getting a little bit more today versus tomorrow, but everybody is getting something from this, and this is supposed to feel good for everybody involved, not just one-sided, not just the Dom. I rambled.
You did?
I made myself hot. My blood pressure's up. What are your thoughts? Especially as a Dom who You've been in many a relationship with a sub who's like, it's too much. I'm not sure I can tell you what I need. Am I even a good submissive? You've lived it.
Yes, I have.
So you're good?
Yeah.
I said it all. That's not
You did.
even remotely true.
Well, no.
For the record, JB's not quite feeling great for this episode.
That's why the different chair and...
Yeah, podcast listeners, you can't see he's in his comfy, like, big boy chair to kind of ease up on his back.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into the second question.
Okay.
Oh, I would like to stop sweating now. Okay, now, this first line gave me pause.
Mm-hmm.
Because it sounds like underage folk doing kink, but the rest of the question reads to me like we're after that now. We're adults now. It's the only reason I would allow this even see the light of day. Okay, I have deleted many an email from a literal fucking child. I was like, nope. If I couldn't send them a resource, I'll just delete that shit. Okay, so just remember that when you hear this first sentence. Okay. I got with my dom when we were both in high school. We didn't have a clue what we were doing, but we tried and failed a lot. We decided to take a break from all things BDSM about a year ago. After tons of research, we feel like we are one step closer to getting back into the life the right way this time. Although I'm worried that I'm a bad submissive because I have a hard time communicating my wants and needs due to a past relationship. How do I get better at telling my partner what I like/want and what I need from them?
Well, first of all, good for you for realizing that it wasn't working the way you wanted and stepping back and regrouping.
That. Yep.
Okay? That in and of itself was a very smart thing to do. So, now as for the communicating, that will probably take a little work, but what some of it comes down to could very easily be that you have not found your communication style.
Yeah. And your comfort level.
Right.
Because you're going to say stuff that's very, makes you feel very vulnerable and kind of opens you up and kind of cracks open your soul. And you're like, here, let me tell you my innermost desires.
Right. So, is it,
that's big.
Yeah, because it, it could be journaling, email, some people like parallel talking where they don't look at each other, like sitting in a car seat side by side. Okay.
Voice notes to one another.
Yeah.
That way it's an asynchronous form of communication. You're saying the thing, but they're going to listen to it and respond to it later. And you're off.
Even texting.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Any written form, I'm a huge fan of.
And unfortunately the part with it, due to a past relationship, that's rewriting bad tapes.
That's what we call them.
Yeah, that's what we call it, bad tapes. And they're a bitch.
Yeah.
They can be a bitch, but nothing is insurmountable, and you can work through them. So,
but it takes time. All of it takes time.
Right. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right. So
time and work.
The one thing there's one book we recommend, and we've recommended multiple times, and to my knowledge, it's both a physical book, an ebook, and I believe now an audiobook. And it's called Tongue Tied by Stella Harris. The whole thing is about communication, mostly within sex, but certainly within relationships. There's only a couple of chapters on kink specifically, but it all applies. All of it. With, a section on like what is making it hard for you to communicate, what can help make it just easier in general. I'm currently thinking of this section on making sure you know what you want, so you have a starting point of this is what I'm trying to communicate with my partner. Love that book. Love that book. So if you have not checked it out, I recommend it. But there's a couple things. We say this a lot. We're supposed to have our communication workbook available on our Etsy shop, but somebody hasn't gotten that done yet either. So we have a workbook coming where we put some of what we're going to say in that. So one, realize it's going to take time. You do not need to have one conversation where you tell your partner everything you've ever wanted and needed. You can have that conversation if you both have that bandwidth, but you don't have to put that pressure on yourself either. You can be like, okay, we're just going to talk about this one thing, right? Let's just explore this one topic, this one kink, this one need, like whatever. You can take it slow like that. I love writing as a form of communication. That is because my first career as Kayla Lords was writing, so I'm very comfortable with writing. You do not have to have good grammar. You don't have to know how to spell. It don't have to be good writing.
No, just be able to get the point across.
Get the words out.
Yeah.
What I like about writing, and this can be a Google Doc you share, it can be a text, it could be an email. Like it doesn't matter. The method does not fucking matter. Right. What I like about it is you can get all your thoughts out, and then, especially when it's digital, you can go back and edit yourself. You're like, oh, did I like how that sounded? Oh, did that even make sense? Oh, maybe I don't want to talk about this right now. I'll take it out, whatever. And then you send it off to them, and you run away and go do something else and pretend you did not just write that. And they get to read it and think about it and figure out how they're feeling on their own time. And then you can come together and have a conversation. So that way they know the hard thing that you're trying to communicate, and you don't have to do that part face to face or over the phone or FaceTime or whatever. But maybe the talking about it, whether it's a negotiation or it's oh yeah, I thought of that. Here are my thoughts and feelings. You can do that verbally, or if both or either of you are struggling with communication, they can write back. A lot of shit in our relationship early days, because we were long distance, of course, we were solving things between each other by email, very long emails, because it was the easiest way to communicate those things, but also there was a comfort level to it. It takes a lot of pressure off if you don't have to look into their eyeballs and say the thing that makes you feel very vulnerable and is scary because you've never had to say it out loud before. Take that fucking pressure off. Find another way. Now, if you're like, I'm not going to fucking write anything down, and or they're not going to fucking read it, then it's, voice recording, voice notes, whatever, right? Or it is on the phone. Lola agrees. Yep. Or it is on the phone, even though maybe you live in the same fucking house, for all I know. But you're maybe just in the same town. So you're not looking at one another. Or like JB said, parallel. We've had many a hard conversation, even after all this time together, driving down the road, not looking at one another.
Yep.
So there's no perfect way to communicate. There's no rule that says you have to look them in the eyeballs and say it out loud. You can find another method. Right. It's perfectly acceptable.
You need to find what works for you.
Mm-hmm. And it's possible that this is what has happened with us over time. I don't use, because for a long time when we first started living together, we're no longer long distance, I used writing for when there was conflict. That was really hard for me to say out loud because all kinds of reasons. So if I was upset with JB, or if my feelings were hurt, or if I was, having like anything less than even a neutral feeling about something, I would write it down because that was just easier for me. We have gotten away from that. I'm very comfortable looking JB eyeball to eyeball and going, you have pissed me off, she said respectfully. But you know what? A week ago, 2 weeks ago, I did send an email because I'd been having thoughts about myself as just a human, but also as a submissive, also within our power exchange. And I was struggling to find the words to verbalize it, to have to say it in a conversation. So I just wrote it down in an email. And I was like, I started out with, it's going to be long, and it's probably not going to make any sense, but I got to get this out of my head. And it wasn't conflict, but that email was the first time I needed to do that in literal years. Yeah. Okay. So it could be something that you move away from, whatever your method is, as you get more comfortable talking, face to face or however. It could be a tool you use for the rest of your damn life because it's what allows you to communicate effectively. it might be ideal if you can say it, if you can look at them while you're saying, yeah, but maybe that's ideal, but fuck ideal. I want you to do what works and gets you to the point where you're saying the thing that needs to be said. Now, there is the comfort level of owning what you like, what you want, what you need. And that will fuck with your communication. But that to me is a separate thing from that, because there's the vulnerability of it all, right? You're thinking about a past relationship and how whatever happened, how that shit went down, and how you still feel about it. And even though this partner is different, that's why we call it bad tapes. That's what's playing in your head as your past experience. And there's that fear of, what if this person says it like this, does it like this, does something to remind me of this person that, I can't be with for the reasons. That is a time thing. That is pure vulnerability, and being vulnerable at that level requires trust, and that takes time. And you may trust this partner because you've known them before, previous relationship, previously, doing kink together, whatever. But it doesn't stop the little voice in the back of your head from going, but what if it turns out like the other? So this is where I would like your partner to listen real fucking close, okay? The way anybody, but in this case, this submissive, is going to get more comfortable sharing what they want and need and their desires and whatever they're trying to get out of being submissive or their kinks or whatever, you better be a safe place for them to say the thing. You swallow the uncomfortable laugh. Keep your face fucking neutral and don't do the quizzical what the fuck, because unless you tell us what the fuck look means, we're going to interpret it the worst possible way. So if you are it doesn't matter dom or sub. It truly does not matter dom or sub. If you want your partner to be vulnerable with you and tell you shit, you need to be a safe person for them to tell shit to.
Yeah. Yes.
Every time, always. You won't be perfect. You will sometimes fuck it up. But in those moments where you can see and feel and have previous experience with, this is a vulnerable moment. They are really fucking trusting me right now. If it's not a good time and you're not in a good headspace, you go, okay, I want to have this conversation, but I can't do it right this second because I want to be able to be here for you. But otherwise, if you're like, I could be here, you don't fuck around until you know that it's kind of safe between you and your partner to giggle about it or to make a sarcastic remark. You just be there for them and be their safe person. And that's how trust grows, and that's how partners can be more vulnerable with one another. There's an expression I'd like to use, and it will not come to my brain. There's a way I want to wrap that up, and Swiss cheese brain strikes again. But that's the thing. It's not just about the partner who's scared of sharing the thing or finds it difficult to share the thing. Yeah, there's some leaps of faith you might have to take. There's some finding workarounds if verbalizing it is too difficult. Yes. But also you need to know that the person you're going to tell this stuff to is going to take it seriously and is going to treat you with respect and treat the topic with the care it deserves. So it's not just you need to figure something out. This is a relationship situation. And unfortunately, there are too many times we come across people, we think we can tell them the thing, be vulnerable, whatever, and we find out the hard way that we cannot. And then those people are like, I don't know why no relationship ever works out. Well, are you being a motherfucker when somebody's trying to be vulnerable? Jesus Christ. Also, some people do not deserve your vulnerability.
True. That's true.
And I don't want anybody to have the kind of trust issues I have. I don't think my trust issues are healthy. I would like some people to have a few, just a little bit of trust issues. Only to go a little slower in the bearing of your soul, to kind of get a sense of, does this person deserve it? Have they, given me enough clues where I think, okay, I can do this with them.
And when you are the safe person that becomes an awesome thing when somebody trusts you that much.
You became my safe person so much that I fully unmasked in front of you and you were like, who is this girl?
Right. And it comes with some funny stuff too and some fun stuff. So, I'm not,
It does. Well, poor JB, he's like, why don't you crack these kinds of jokes and be this silly in front of others? I'm like, nope, that's not safe. No. There's a part of me that wishes I could.
Yeah.
So for this person, find alternative methods of communication to this person's partner. Be calm, cool, and collected when they tell you something, and treat it with the seriousness that it deserves. Not maybe the topic. The topic might be light, but the strength it takes. Yeah, the strength it takes to go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I don't. What's gonna happen? Like, that's important. And also, do it for each other, right? Submissives, just because that person's your dom, they are not like. They're not. Made of titanium. Like, that's a soft, squishy person too, and they need the same kind of care. Lola agrees.
Lola has a lot to say tonight.
She really does. It's fine. My flow can be Swiss cheese brain. It's fine, Lola. You're adding to it, really. So that is the thing. Look into tongue-tied if you haven't already. Find your alternative method of communication. And then, take a leap of faith. Do it with something small-ish. Like, list out the things you're trying to share. And that's another thing. Some people think they have to. I think I said this already. You don't have to say everything all in one conversation. So kind of think to yourself, what are the things I'm trying to share? Pick the one that feels the least scary, right? The least, what will they think? The least... oh my gosh, is, am I, air quote, allowed to ask for this? Yes, you were allowed to ask for whatever the fuck you want. It's up to the other person if they will agree that, yes, they would like to do that with you too. But start with the one that doesn't feel quite as daunting, and that can be your first leap of faith. I'm going to say this thing. How do they handle it? How do they respond, right? How do I feel in this conversation? Did it go well? The other thing is... communication skills are bumpy. It's not a linear path once you start focusing on them and trying to get better. Woo! It's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And it's like that for you and your partner. And I'm not saying it's always going to happen all of the time, but there will be times when you will both be trying to communicate the best you can, and it's clashing. You're not on the same page. You're not on the same wavelength. One of you is misreading something. Doesn't mean everything's doomed, and it's called go to your separate corners, cool the fuck off, and maybe you send an email with your thoughts. That's when we used to get into those moments. I'm better now at saying, JB, we both want the same outcome. We are on the same team.
That's true.
And that kind of resets us. But in the beginning, I didn't have that kind of confidence to say that. I didn't even have that thought in my head yet. So we would be trying to do something that we both wanted to do, or have a serious discussion about a thing that affected, and our own lack of communication was getting in our way. So we would get upset with one another when that did not make sense to do. We'd go to separate corners to calm down. That was the hardest part for me because that's some of my trust issues. But so what would typically happen is I would get my thoughts clear and I would email them, or I'd write them on a piece of paper. But we would cool off, and then we'd come back. And by the time we came back, we were like, okay, it's us against the problem, not us against one another. Now we just give verbal cues. Now I tend to be better at that than JB.
Yeah, you do.
JB, when JB gets annoyed, he goes inward, and fuck all y'all. He is inward now, and he is self-protective. And I'm over here raising a white flag going, dude, we could solve this. So that's a thing to all.
That's my crabby nature.
Yes, you are a Cancer. Oh my God. That's a thing to just keep in mind. It's a very squiggledy line of chaos as your path to get better over time. And any communication skills you improve on in kink, they are transferable to every part of your life. If you find that you are having to sort of work with new communication skills in other parts of your life, like learning how to talk to my children, young children, in a way to help them regulate their emotions actually makes it easier for me to talk to JB when he needs to regulate his emotions. So any communication skill you pick up from anywhere in life is transferable, okay? So just keep that in mind too. But that was our second question. For anybody who maybe you've never heard one of the Monday Q&A episodes we're not doing right now, we're on a break from them. That's what they're like. We read the question, and then I go on a rant, and JB says something smart, but he'll say his 5 words. He said what he said, and he's done. And then I will be Swiss cheese brain chaos. Now, we did have another question, and I was real fucking excited to answer it. I was going on a rant in my head, but I was also like, okay, like I was mapping it out. Sometimes when I read a question, I'm like, okay, the brain just starts up. It's like a, coal-powered train engine. It's fine. And then the very last line was, do not read this on the podcast. I was like, damn it. So, it was there. It was a juicy one. But we do respect that. If you're like, I don't want this, that's fine. That being said, because I've lived in email hell for about a month, if you have sent in a question, I didn't get it. It's gone. The internet ate it. I don't know. I don't know where it is. It's floating out in the ether somewhere. And if you're like, do they really answer a question? And you've never sent one, but you're like, oh, I have a thing. Feel free. The link is in the places. It's a form you fill out on our website, but it comes to me via email.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting here, it's just now occurring to me, I think there's a place on our website where I could go and read them. All that time I was like freaking out over emails I could not get to. I believe there's in the back end of our website.
Yeah, there should be.
As I'm sitting here, I'm figuring that out. God
Better
damn.
late than never.
Got there eventually. Just took me a fucking month. And a recording of a whole podcast and the saying it out loud, the verbalizing of what the hell's going on, and then the light bulb finally came on. I did the slow dim, like went from dim to bright real slowly, but that light bulb did come on.
Yeah, hey, that's all that matters in the end.
God. Look, I like answering people's questions because I want to help folks. 90% of the time the answer is, please have a conversation with your partner. What we tend to add to that is the nuance of think about these things, consider that, whatever. So the majority of it, that's what I like. I like to try to help folks just from our perspective. Our perspective is not the only perspective, and there will be other ways to deal with the issues that you face. We're just going to tell you what we would do if it was us. But also I'm a nosy bitch. And sometimes I have to be reminded that, man, there really are some shitty people out here trying to, call themselves a dom or a sub. In the emails we get, it tends to be the dom, but not always. But also some people will like explain as the context for the question. They're like, okay, here's my life situation, here's the relationship situation, and I'm like, oh, I need to get the board out and do the strings. That's fast. Like, I'm a nosy bitch. I am.
See, I think I learned something about you tonight. I didn't.
Oh, that I'm a nosy bitch?
Yeah.
You did not know?
No.
Well, I think it's because in public I'm really good at overhearing, but keeping the face real neutral. Because, see, look, if your face is expressive out in public, people want to come talk to you. I don't want that. No. I do not need strangers. Like random people. Crickets, y'all can walk up to me anytime. It has happened before. It was a very weird thing because I was just trying to get some groceries. And I'm just a weirdo on the internet. And that person was very lovely. It made me feel very special. I don't mean that, but like if we're sitting like in the Waffle House. God, it happens in the Waffle House a lot. You let your face get expressive. Somebody's just gonna come talk to you. And I don't need that in my life. Yeah, my My hearing is not like your hearing is. Like, I don't need a hearing aid or anything. My hearing's not as good as it used to be, and also my auditory processing is not as good as it used to be. I have to be looking like at somebody's mouth to kind of catch words sometimes. And it took me a while to learn that was probably auditory processing stuff, not like am I losing my hearing? So I can't overhear without looking like I'm very interested in this stranger over there having this conversation. Can't do it quite as much. It is a little more difficult, especially in a busy place. But yeah, back in the day, I just like when we used to go to Starbucks all the time, we'd sit in those chairs and we'd be talking. And when we weren't talking, I'd just be listening. I hear all kinds of shit, all kinds of stuff. I am a nosy bitch. I don't want to engage with the shit I learn or hear. No, that's called interaction. And who wants that? But I want to know. It keeps me humble. It reminds me, I think everybody needs to keep it in their head that whatever you are experiencing is only what you are experiencing, and other people don't experience the world the way you experience it.
It's true.
And a good reality check for that is to listen to strangers talk to one another. Look, I'm not getting up and like scooting in the booth with them to like hear their innermost whatever. But if you are within like a 5-foot zone of me and your voice is at a volume that I can hear, you won't know, but I will know. And then we'll get in the car later. I'll be like, oh my God, did you hear them? And he's like, no, I didn't hear them. Oh, let me tell you. I'm just saying I'm a nosy bitch, so send your damn questions in. I am. It was. We are chaotic.
Really?
I know.
Who would have ever guessed?
Right? This was random. I wanted to do the topic that I came up with in my fucking head. And then I have another topic I want to do, but I have to research on that. Sometimes I have to just not know stuff out loud in front of other people because that's how you learn things. But I have access to the internet, so I should, if I'm going to talk about something that is not my lived experience, I should like go learn a little bit more about it and not just be speaking out of my ass about something. That's just how I view these things. So I have another topic I really want us to do, but I do have to sit down and like
and flush it out.
I gotta go learn shit. So
okay, all right.
Anyway, this is our very chaotic episode. If you have not already and you want to, please enter our podcast anniversary giveaway. It's still open until when? The last day of August, whatever day that is. And we will just keep doing more of this, but we'll call it a bonus section. Okay.
So we're all
I don't know.
you don't know?
That's not for me to say.
Okay. Keep it kinky, y'all.
And we'll see you next week. There are fuzzies just floating through the air. Oh my gosh.
Well, because Lola's been...
So I have to ask.
Yeah.
When she was getting her zoomies over there, when she was in and out, did you forget we were over here?
No.
Okay, because there was in the background. And
no,
I was like,
that was for something else.
Okay. I was like, did he forget we were doing a podcast?
No. No. I just knew if I didn't give her a quick outlet to let off that steam.
Yeah. It was only going to get worse.
Right.
And that's the thing. When she started wooing, she was calmly laying in her cot. She was not begging for attention. We were not ignoring her. She was chilling. And then she just decided, I am done chilling. And I will let you know. Right. By singing the song of my people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a thing. I was like, ooh, we'll talk about that in the bonus section. And I have forgotten it. I forgot it.
No clue, huh?
No, gone.
Total.
Gone. I don't know if I'm just so used to Swiss cheese brain these days. I call it that because it really does feel like there are holes in my brain and like the information just falls through one and it's a black hole and it's gone, and I don't know. Or I chase thoughts through the holes that make a maze in my brain. I can take that analogy a little too far. I don't know if I'm just resigned that every moment of every day is now a Swiss cheese brain moment.
Oh dear.
So I don't even clock it, or if it did come upon me suddenly and I went, oh, it's going to be chaos for this stream / recording. Okay, because the moment I wanted words to come out of my fucking mouth, I was like, oh no, the holes in the cheese. It's just black holes.
Yes.
Things are going to disappear. And maybe it's I just walk around all day long like that, but I don't, like, a lot of the work I've been doing lately has been very physical. Like, making paddles, I've been pouring resin, like, I don't have to articulate thoughts to do that. JB and I are able to get through an entire day and communicate mostly in grunts, eyebrow raises, and nudges, you know, at this point in life. So I don't have to articulate very much a lot of the time. So I think the surprise is the same when I go, oh, yeah, that's right. And let me be reminded, Swiss cheese brain, because I still to this day do not expect it. Look, I get to look at the thumbnails from every YouTube video we've ever done, live stream, and so
true.
I get to, through the history of our channel, see our progression as we've aged. But I still want to believe that I am that articulate. Oh God, I was 34, about to 33, about to be 34, 34, about to be 35, mid fucking 30s when we started the podcast. And I could have a thought, think about a thought, say a thought to somebody else, and still remember that thought to repeat it back into a microphone. I want to keep believing that I am that person, and I am not that person. I know physically I'm not that person anymore. I've got the visual proof in our YouTube studio dashboard. But verbally, brain-wise, and it's humbling. I used to say I had a mind like a steel trap. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. And I keep asking, so the closest person I have, like, physically in my life, I certainly know people online I can have these conversations. The closest person I know physically in my life who I can, like, get to whatever, who has gone through menopause is on the other side. She went through perimenopause. She raw dogged that. She didn't even know she was in it. Did not know the word for it. I'm the one who told her after she had been in actual menopause for several years. She made it through that, hit that day when you are officially in menopause, and now she's on the other side. And she's the only person I've been like, Mom, does it get better? Does your brain come back to you? Can you hold thoughts in your head again? I just need to know. Look, I have learned over time that I put too much pressure on myself and gave too much weight to my perceived intelligence. I believe I'm an intelligent human being, but I was full of myself about my perceived intelligence. I was probably obnoxious about it at certain points in life. My early 20s come to mind. But there are times that I'm like, I know I have thoughts. I know I can have coherent thoughts, but I will open my mouth to try and speak, usually into a microphone on the internet where everybody can see it. And I feel like the biggest fucking dumbass. It's like, do I even know anything anymore? I don't think so. And the thing is I know that that's not true. Yeah, I know that. Okay, but when you know that you used to be able to have a thought and communicate a thought, change your thought mid-thought and come back and remember what the fuck you were talking about? It's like, am I stupid? I don't want to be stupid. And I'm not. Cognitive issues like that have nothing to do with intelligence. But, it's been an ego check, I'll tell you that. Kim asked from my mom what was the answer. She can't tell me. She is not forthcoming. I think the only symptom my mom had in perimenopause that she understood was a symptom, and was at least willing to talk to me about, was hot flashes. Like, she was the person standing in front of her refrigerator just letting the cool air waft on her, because she can pay her, if her electric bill is like $1,000, she does not care. She's gonna be cool in her house, right? So she would just like let all the cold air out of the fridge and stand in front of it. And she's like, well, I don't have to do that anymore. So you're saying you didn't have the brain fog? You didn't have the other stuff, Mom? You can't tell me it gets better? I need to know. I need to know. Yeah.
Anywho.
No, yeah, it does knock my confidence also just as a content creator. Because I'm like, man, I used to like come up with shit. Now, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. So, fun times this perimenopause. If you are going through it too, solidarity.
Yeah.
I do have to change doctors. I realize that. I watch YouTube and I look at Instagram Reels. That's what I do for my video content. Man, Reels will fuck me up sometimes. But I got on the perimenopause and menopause side of the algorithm, and it was a doctor doing a reel saying, you know, what you're hearing back when you're explaining these symptoms that are becoming like, I don't know if debilitating is too strong of a word, but sometimes that's the word I can use. And they're telling you, well, you just need to sleep more, and you're probably stressed, right? They're not taking it seriously, right? Whatever. And I don't like my doctor who gives me my hormones, but she writes the prescription, right? But the last visit, she really did say, well, are you sleeping and are you stressed? And I was like, I don't know what that has to do with the symptoms will be fine for like a month or two, and then they're like not fine, and then they're fine, and then they're not fine. It's a cycle. It's a bad cycle. It's a curly Q line cycle. It's a cycle. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're at that point. She's thrown her hands up. She doesn't think there's anything else she can do. And I know there is. I've done my research, but she won't. So I have no choice. I have to get a new doctor who will actually fucking listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I know. The first doctor you had was very good.
I've had in my life for the gynecology part, OBG, like the obstetrician, both of them were excellent. But for the gynecology part, I've had two that I would do anything to be their patient again. One is up in the presumably, I don't know if she's moved. She's up in the Panhandle. I'm not driving 8 to 10 hours. I could, but it's not that serious yet. The other one is in Montana now, so
yeah.
But anyway, that's my complaint of the day. As I sit here and sweat. But I can't blame a hot flash. My blood pressure went up because I got heated in the answering the questions, and the lights are pointed at me. I know I'm hot. It's the Swiss cheese brain situation. And I know, because I'm aware, that I'm doing a whole hell of a lot of talking, and JB is not doing a whole hell of a lot of talking. Let me remind anybody who maybe just pulled up to this, or your podcast listener and you zoned out. He doesn't feel good. This is how we work.
Yeah, normally if I have to, I try to hold out till after, and I take any of my meds before bedtime. But tonight it was sitting at dinner, and I was getting muscle spasms in my lower back, and I was like, no, not going to. So yeah, I took my meds a little early, and they just kind of.
Yeah, it calms everything down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be a time you would be pretty zoned out. Like you'd be doing something easy on the computer, or
I'd be playing Terraria or something mindless. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's all right. When we're done here, I'll go sit on the heating pad for a little bit.
I am going to make ice cream.
You are.
With my Ninja Creamy.
Mm-hmm.
I got an early, I still don't know if it was an early Christmas or early birthday present or an early, this is both, so enjoy it. I'm good with whatever.
Right.
But my mom saw the Ninja Creamy on sale and went,
Mm-hmm.
here you go. She was going to get me the Ninja Slushy thing, and I was like, no, I don't like the Ninja Slushy thing. And I love margaritas, but I don't like them frozen. I want them on the rocks. I want to be able to suck on the ice cube after the tequila has cleared my sinuses. I haven't had a fucking margarita in years. But yeah. I was like, no, I don't want the slushy. I want the creamy. And then I was like, oh my God, what is Ninja doing to the small kitchen appliance world? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're trying our hand at frozen yogurt tonight. I have not made that yet. And
you've done very well with it so far.
It's not, I got myself intimidated because especially with food, because I don't want to like waste food. That's expensive, especially right now. Good God. But I tend to get in my own head about cooking or trying new recipes when I don't have some experience with it. I can be influenced online, on social, and the internet has many times made me think that something is easier to cook or make food-wise than it really was. Oh, the family has gone through some experiments. I was like, I saw a reel. Let's try that for dinner. And it was just sadness on our plates. Yeah. So I got worried that the trying to do the ice cream would be like that. No, I've cobbled together, like somebody says do this and somebody else says do that, and I'm like, oh, I like that stuff and I like that stuff. I'll just combine, and it's worked. It's not.
As far as she's done good. We've been eating ice cream, a little bit of ice cream, every night.
Yeah, nearly. The youngest was annoyed that I didn't have any prepped one night. They were like, I thought we were having ice cream tonight. It's like, sorry, you have to eat any one of the 10 million snacks I buy you from Aldi this week. I'm so sorry.
I'm looking forward to trying one of the milkshakes made with it.
Yeah, part of the problem is, so if you even give a fuck, the thing with the creamy is it comes with 2 like pint containers where you make your ice cream base, and then you'll use that to whatever. We only have 2, which means I'm swapping them in and out. We can buy more. We just have not yet. We will not buy them from Ninja. Those are expensive. We'll buy the off-brand, okay? But, so what you have to have for the milkshake with the cream is you have to have the ice cream base. And we want to use the ice cream that I've been making because I'm making it lactose-free, so me and the youngest can, like, enjoy ice cream without, like, shitting our pants. So, that's more than you wanted to know, but it's truth. Lactose intolerance.
More than I even wanted to know. Come on.
I have to warn you when it's about to happen. Do not follow me. Anyway, so we want to make it with the ice cream I make that's lactose free, blah, blah, blah. But we never have any left over, and I don't ever seem to have like a spare container to just that's gonna be milkshake ice cream. Don't anybody eat that. We'll get there. There.
Yeah.
I've made chocolate. I've made vanilla. I've made 2 sorbets. I've made vanilla for tonight, and we're going to put cookies in as the, like, added flavor, whatever. That's called a mix-in with the Ninja Creamy, if you wondered. And I'm also trying frozen yogurt tonight. A berry frozen yogurt. Because I have berry yogurt. So, yeah, it's my new thing that I do.
Yeah.
JB has the coffee maker. Yeah. That's his thing. I got the creamy. Is nearly everybody in this household making inappropriate jokes whenever we have to say the word creamy? Yes. Including the child. The child who's 15 and is like literally in what? 3 weeks gonna be 16. But still, yeah. Everybody's making the jokes. So
Anywho,
I like hanging out with y'all, even though it's a very asynchronous thing for podcast listeners. Y'all could be listening like 3 years in the future from now. I still feel like I'm hanging out with y'all. I do. So, anyway, but I guess I'm done because I can't remember a thing that there was a thing I was gonna.
And I come back to you.
It's gone.
Okay, all right.
It fell down the wormhole in my Swiss cheese brain. You want to know when it'll come back to me?
probably when we're laying in bed and you'll catch your zoomies and you'll be like, I remember.
Okay, that was not the one I was thinking of, but that is very accurate. No, I was thinking of when I randomly wake up at like 3 a.m. and can't get back to sleep, and I'm telling myself, self, don't have thoughts. The moment the brain revs up, you're not going to go back to sleep. And then self doesn't listen. So anyway.
Yeah, we've both been sleeping like caca lately.
Yeah, it's been some shit, man. But if I keep just talking about nothing,
I know.
I can't make frozen yogurt.
I know.
Oh, we gotta have frozen yogurt.
And I think that's
I gotta know.
It's a must-have. We have to,
Especially now that I'm all hot and like got my blood pressure up. And it's hot in here because it's Florida.
We had our one day break from the heat today. Mm-hmm. It was 69 degrees this morning.
How long did that? Nice. How long did that last?
About an hour, maybe.
Wow, we got an hour.
Yeah.
I figured that'd be like a 5-minute event. Yeah, we got to get a tease.
Yeah.
At least at some point, but like at the end of summer, so that we like are given hope that no, you will not always be this boiling hot.
It always seems that at some point during the summer here, we get one day where all of a sudden everything, the humidity goes away, the temperature breaks. You're like, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
I have hope again. I know this will come back.
Right.
This exists in real life. I will get a no humidity day.
We won't sweat forever.
Not forever. But you know what? The opposite is true when we'll get some warm days while it's still technically spring, and you're like, oh God, why did you remind me of what's coming? So.
Yeah. Anyhow. All right. Let's go get some frozen yogurt.
Okay. And get you with your heating pad and other sundry things.
Yep. And then just toss me into bed.
Oh, I'm not tossing you anywhere. We just hurt both of ourselves that way. And you got to be better enough so you can go to work tomorrow.
I know.
We got paddles to make. God damn it.
Well, luckily, what I'll be doing in the morning will be sitting at the scroll saw.
True.
I've been spending a lot of time at the scroll saw.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're never going to go.
No.
We can keep going, clearly.
All right.
But that's not how you get frozen yogurt.
Nope.
So.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here with us to the bitter end.
Yep.
Thanks for letting us indulge in the pure chaos. Sometimes it's just a pure chaos episode. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, bye.
Bye.